At Azeroth Morning Radio, we recently received a heartwarming letter from a listener whose love of Azeroth began beside their grandmother and continues on today. So this episode is dedicated to their grandmother, Clethine, the dwarf hunter who passed away over the 2025 holiday season. May you find rest in the forests of the stars, from Azeroth and beyond.
Good morning, Azeroth. Broadcasting live from the trade district of Stormwind.
Hey, hurry around an arcane relay through the coffee pot again.
Coffee's done.
Hang on, I think we got it.
This is Azeroth Morning Radio. Warcraft for the rest of us.
And good Tuesday morning. Welcome, everybody. This is Azeroth Morning Radio.
Many greetings.
I just picture a nerdy kid.
Welcome to math class, everybody.
That's a dude from my mount.
I know. I love him so much. I love him so much.
I always feel like he's so disappointed when I like despawn the mount,
Yeah.
and then him and his buddy are just like standing there staring at you.
Yeah.
They're like, "That's it? Where'd the mammoth go?"
Yeah. Oh, gosh. That's hilarious. Well, everybody, welcome. We are your hosts. My name is Jibs, and I'm joined by Mr. 2027's, that hasn't happened yet, Mr. 2023's Fireman of the Year. Fireman model.
Hey, fireman model. I don't even... I'm fine. It's fine. I'm okay.
Oh, operational security.
You totally gave that away last episode. You told everyone what you did.
No, I know. I'm just saying, don't tell anybody my awards and accolades.
Oh.
But I am good at my job.
Anyway, Cash is here. What's up, buddy?
Oh, nothing, man. I'm just, I was telling Jibs before the show that I tried in earnest to play some Warcraft today. I got about 15 minutes in this morning after I woke up all pie-eyed with a friggin' cup of coffee in my hand. I got about 15 minutes before the server shut down, and my entire goal for the whole day was like, okay, I got to get this done, this done, this done. I'm a very organized person. I have lists. I have things I need to get done. So I had all these things that I needed to get done, and I got nowhere near finishing. So I got like 15 minutes of Warcraft in today, and my wife's coming home with In-N-Out later. So by the time we're done recording the show, she's going to be here with a big old fat 3x3 burger. If you know, you know, from In-N-Out. And I'm going to go crush that. And then I'm going to want to go night time because it'll be suck my thumb time.
Oh, dude, that's so. You know, it's funny with you with carbs. I know you've brought carbs back in your diet, but not In-N-Out level quality carbs. Like, I know you do the lettuce wrap, which is great. I enjoy that too. Do you do like, what else? Are you like a fries person? Do you really branch out? Because
not tonight. There ain't no lettuce wraps happening.
Honestly, you going night.
Honestly, so I'm very structured with my diet, very much so. But I cheat like once a week, and I cheat hard.
Yeah.
So right after we're done with In-N-Out, I'll be like, "Hey, does anybody want to go get a Blizzard?" So, but you know, like sometimes, like when because I usually operate in a calorie deficit, and eat very well. So there's some point, and usually it's that one time a week where you have to replace some calories. You can't, you got to live too. I mean, for Titan's sake, you got to live. So if I'm going to live, it's usually In-N-Out once a week. And I go, we had this discussion before. Remember, I go with the overdone fries.
Yeah.
And you lost your mind.
Yeah. That's still dumb.
It's not dumb. In-N-Out fries that are a little extra crispy are amazing. And here's the other thing.
Yeah.
I don't do lettuce wraps because I hate hot lettuce with a passion.
Huh.
I can't do it. It's
Really?
like eating seaweed straight out of the ocean from the Caribbean.
Maybe
Warm water. Blech.
Maybe I'm just so used to the, Midwestern, Burger King or McDonald's that you just part of life. Like I'm game for hot lettuce if it's in a hot sandwich. I don't care.
No, I'm going to pass on the hot lettuce. But yeah, tonight, I take that back. Eat hearty, my friends, for tonight I dine in hell.
Yeah, I was waiting, like, where are you taking it? Folks,
this is Sparta. Sorry.
Folks, well, anyway, welcome. This is episode 20 of Azeroth Morning Radio. We certainly can't thank you enough so much for hanging out here with us, push and play. Here on the show, we have a massive episode for you folks. It is State of Azeroth week for us. We're a week late, in short, but we're going to go through all the nitty gritty of State of Azeroth. We're going to talk a little bit about Classic Plus and chat about recent developments in the MMO industry. But before we get to all that, let's go to commercial. We'll be right back, folks.
It's time to check the bulletin boards, the back alleys, and that one tavern corner everybody avoids due to the questionable smells. Welcome to the classifieds of Azeroth, where heroes buy, sell, trade, and deeply regret their decisions. And today's listings are brought to you by a gnome who absolutely should not be in charge of advertising.
Greetings, Azeroth! Buzzwick Pickle Tickle here with today's classifieds of Azeroth. Remember, if it sounds unsafe, it probably builds character. Here's one for you explorers out there. For sale, one mostly accurate teleportation belt. Sends you almost anywhere you want to go. Occasionally warm, occasionally buzzing. Once fused my pants to my crotchal region. Learned a lot about cold fusion that day. But I got where I needed to go, and that's what counts. 5 stars on the ad, though. Fast travel and a free confidence test. Here's one for anyone looking for a place to stay. Roommate wanted, Nomergon District. Must tolerate late night wrenching, loud clanking, and mysterious stains that aren't your business. No warlocks, no void whispers, no judging looks. Ooh, this one's questionable. Listen, if you ask where the stains came from, you probably won't outlive the lease. Well, this one's interesting. Mount swap. Have one undead horse that screams when mounted and judges your poor posture. Looking for something loyal, quiet, and preferably not cursed by demons. Yeah, that's a hard nope. I don't need emotional feedback for my transportation. Oh, here's a whopper. Lost item. One powerful artifact. Definitely cursed. Whispers sweet nothings and bad ideas. If found, do not stare at it too long or it starts flirting back. Promising. Probably still better conversation than trade chat. And that's today's classifieds of Azeroth. Remember, if it smells funny, hums softly, or follows you home, congratulations. It's probably gnomish craftsmanship.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this show is Warcraft for the rest of us, the 9 to 5er, those of us working all the time. If you're not parenting, you're working. Casuals, welcome home, friends. That said, it's time for the Hero's Call.
Hero's Call. Friends, we have unlocked some more World of Warcraft hidden secrets. I love these. Did a little bit of a deep dive on this one because it's amazing. Anyway, this comes to us from massivelyop.com. We all know that WoW developers have been hiding secrets in World of Warcraft for years. And a dedicated, very dedicated, I want to say on this one, group of WoW secret hunters has discovered a previously hidden location off of the western coast of Pandaria in the South Sea, way down at the bottom. When I say way down, I mean way down. On the video that came out of this post, it looked like it took the guy about 10 minutes. Actually, maybe half that, maybe 5 minutes to swim from the surface all the way to the bottom of the sea where this thing is found. Anyway, super deep down, they discovered a teleport to the cabal of the Mind Seekers. Now, we know that the Mind Seekers is going to be a thing in Midnight. The Mind Seekers is kind of the internal secretive guild within the game for treasure hunters. So anyway, get down to the bottom of the sea. There's a little portal that takes forever to get to, and it teleports you to a community headquarters of sorts for secret finders who have found secrets in the game. And it's like a little trophy room for these secret hunters. And the way that it was described in the article, and I would imagine this is getting tracked in the game, is that players who have uncovered 17 secrets earn a special in-game title, and their names appear on the wall in this secret Cabal headquarters.
What?
How 100% badassery is that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Right. And when I found this, it was in a place of obscurity, and I was like, wait a minute. But it's legit. Like, this is a legit thing. I didn't swim down there to check it out myself, but there is a legit video out there that shows how they get there. So the nice thing about this is that the collaborative problem solving and just flat out exploration in this game is just insanity to me. That there are so many secrets out there that a WoW player that's been playing since 2004 just has zero idea about it, but it is all there for people who look for it. And I love secret finding because if say you're bored, say you're just bored with the current content, or say it's late season 3, right? And we're going into a new patch or a new expansion. Secret finding is something that you can do that's like completely optional, completely casual. It takes some of your research out of the game. So if you're done with the grind, like, you can completely just discover things. And I'm absolutely enthralled with this. And at this point in my life, I wish I had the time to dive more into stuff like this.
Dude, I'm watching this video as you're telling me this. It took them every bit of, like, it says it was a 3-minute long video and it shows them popping up. But I'm like, number one, how would you even find this? Like, this is so far off the beaten path. And then to know to just keep going down, like,
yeah,
I don't.
it's nuts. But anyway, I'm so impressed with this, and I'm so impressed with the whole thing of the Mind Seekers, that this is one of those things that is in the game and available to you in the game. That is such an aside. It's a flank. Complete flank for the things that you could actually do, or, could actually be doing or being driven to do in the game. And you can just take a little side route and go, nope, I'm going to go look for secrets. And they're out there.
That's so
waiting
cool
to be discovered. It's just ingenuity in development.
That's the beauty of a game like this. That's it's been around for so long. Not
You're
only
say old.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was saying it's been around for a while. It's been around long enough that it saw me when I had hair, and now I don't. Samesies, yeah. So, like, it's just crazy. Number one, that that's part of the beauty of having a game that's been out so long, but also all the assets that they can pull from now. Like, think about that. Have you ever thought about that? I wonder what that library looks like. Like, I've used the program WoW Export, and you can see a bunch of models and stuff, but like all their personal asset library at Blizzard, can you imagine how vast that is? Like, just insanity, right? And so, like, the fact that they can put stuff like this in the game, it's neat. Like, I never believe someone can say, I'm done with WoW. Like, I've done everything. Have you? Have you really?
No. No, I don't think I honestly don't think it's possible. Not after all these years. I don't think it's possible to have done everything. Like, even lore masters, you're not doing every single quest. You're doing certain quest lines for certain achievements. You're not doing every single quest. So even those people can't say they did it all. And even if those people say, I did it all. Oh, cool. Did you master PvP? Like, have you gotten all those achievements? No, I just don't think it's possible to 100% the game. Possibly in achievements, maybe, but for every piece of content, dude, no.
I think people have done it. I'll say that. I don't know how many, but I know, like, that's people's whole endeavor is to 100% World of Warcraft. I can't imagine doing that thing. Like, you want to talk about, like, a lofty goal. My gosh. That aside,
I think it's pretty amazing that they have. Maybe I should caveat that with, I don't think any normal person. I don't think a casual person can say that they've 100% of World of Warcraft, but
it's just,
yeah,
it's cool because honestly, like this to me is like probably started out as a niche crowd. I imagine, you know, people going out there and like finding out these things. And then it started to gather a larger following. And then, of course, you have Warcraft Secrets. And then you've got this whole thing that really has kind of blown up. Probably, especially within the last, oh gosh, what do you think? 5 years, maybe? Like this whole movement?
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned the WoW Secrets because that is, I think that's where a lot of these people collab is on the Secret Finding Discord. And I know that there are a lot of devs that go there. And they're probably just like giggling in their seats as they read some of this stuff, some of these crazy theories, and they're like, I know where it is. But, you know, there's people that are in there like really trying to figure it out. So if you're one of these people, I would love to talk to you. If you are a tried and true World of Warcraft secret finder, mind-seeking Kabbalist, I'd love to talk to you. If you're interested in it, discord.gg/WoW Secrets is their open Discord for this. And it is very intriguing, the stuff these folks are doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man, that's awesome.
Yes.
I love it.
Okay, let's move along, sir. Second part of the Heroes Call board is something I am finding really cool that the community is doing. And this is along the realm of Classic Plus.
Ooh.
So players across Classic World of Warcraft realms have organized a community-driven project focused on the idea of Classic Plus. What they're trying to do is preserve the original spirit of Classic, but still add to it and expand on what's going on there for this idea and theory of Classic Plus. But they're doing it very thoughtfully. Instead of having a suggestion here, a suggestion there, that the developers have to search through tons and tons, walls of text on forum posts, they're consolidating their ideas, sharing design ideas for future proposals, voting on said concepts, and coordinating the feedback in a very centralized manner for the development team. Love this so much.
Oh, yeah.
I hope one of the things that they're voting on is whether or not to make Classic Plus look better. There I go. There I go.
The forever sticking point with you.
It might be. It might be. But anyway, I love it as a grassroots effort. And these are players just getting together as a community to take active participation in shaping the future of what Classic Plus could be. And I think it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Where it resonated with me is that this is very reminiscent of what Jagex does with old school RuneScape. I had a very, very short stint in old school RuneScape. And when I say that, I didn't play it very long, but I did. And this was recently. This is probably within the past year. Mm-hmm. I did a deep dive on the whole culture behind old school RuneScape because it continues to be one of the most played MMOs out there. Mm-hmm. For sure. Like even Lazy Peon, who's a content creator on YouTube with fantastic videos, he like got completely addicted to old school RuneScape. And I was like, okay, why? I mean, the game looks like ass. I'll throw that out there.
I'm like, go on.
Hey, yeah, you don't look too good in a low poly graphics either, pal. Your head looks like a rectangular dome that's been mauled by a bear.
But you just can't deny the complexity and depth of the game world, the lore of the game, and the millions of people who are just completely addicted. There is most definitely something there aside from, what the visuals look like. But anyway, the reason that this Classic Plus initiative reminded me of this is because Jagex, who develops old school RuneScape, they put everything to a vote for what goes in the game and what doesn't. And I love it so much. Here's an example. And this is straight off of their website, right? Should the level requirements for planting multiple spirit trees be rebalanced as described in the blog? I have no idea what that means, right? But old school RuneScape players do. And you'll be very happy to know that 86% of them said yes. So it looks like that's going to make it into the game. But how do you feel about being able to, and I don't even know if Blizzard's going to be like, yeah, we'll take your feedback. I assume they would, especially because of this grassroots effort that these folks are doing. What are your thoughts on a little bit more open development for something that is going to be as beloved as Classic Plus?
So being that we just came off a week where we watched an open development MMO fully implode, I don't know how well that would be received from a development team to do something like that. Now, obviously that was like a full side of the spectrum, right? Where it's completely wide open for the most part, you know. Obviously Blizzard would not do that. It'd be very different. I would love, truthfully, as a fan, and I also wonder though, before I go further, I also wonder what the audience looks like over there for RuneScape, you know, for old school RuneScape. Like is it a niche audience? Is it the broader audience? Is it, you know, like I know nothing about that game aside from watching you play it and you were kind of into it and then you couldn't play anymore because it looked like you were playing Paperboy back on NES for.
Yeah, that's true dat. That is 100% true dat. Now, if you're talking specifically on how they have a voting system, I know, what the audience looks like that is allowed to vote on the game. There are some requirements for you to be able to vote. Like you have to have a certain amount of hours in the game and you have to be progressed to a certain extent. So you can't just like be a brand new player coming in and be like, I don't like this, not that your one vote's going to count anyway, but because there's thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of votes that go into this thing.
Right.
Maybe even more. But anyway, I would say let's hold on the conversation about the MMO industry and the Ashes of Creation thing, because we're going to talk about that later for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to cover that later. But me personally, I love this, that the community is getting together and doing this so they can at least maybe have a voice in shaping the way that Classic Plus turns out to be.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Breaking news. Brought to all of yous by the Goblin News Network.
State of Azeroth. Dun dun dun. AMR coverage breakdown. Now this is, by the way, this is coming to us from wowhead.com. But basically what we're doing is we took a lot of their information and put it in a way that we can kind of regurgitate it for you all. And we're going to go sit here and go through all of it one by one and just talk about it, because last week we really didn't get an opportunity to do so, and we saw multiple comments come in. One person on YouTube said, "Can't this episode be longer?" I was like, "Well, it will be next week." So
saw that. I loved it though. I mean, what a compliment, right? Can you make your episodes longer?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
we should do that one of these days, bud. Just do a blowout episode.
Oh, I'm game. Like a 3-hour long episode. Oh,
that'd be super fun. Make it like a Rogan-esque video where it's like 3.5 hours.
Dude, let's do it. We could record it on a weekend. But anyway, so State of Azeroth, AMR coverage breakdown. So, okay. We're just going to probably go through this from top to bottom, because I tell you, when they opened up the entire video and you're watching things happen on, like, whether it's trailers or previous things from previous expansions, BlizzCon, cosplay, all these cool things, everything that makes up Warcraft, everything that makes the Warcraft community the Warcraft community. You got to see it. It set the tone. Like, Blizzard opened the State of Azeroth by framing Midnight as a story meant to land emotionally. The team went on to say the campaign is designed to, quote, find your heart, whether you're brand new to Azeroth or have been playing for all 21 years. Does it feel like 21 years to you?
No, but it makes plenty of sense, because my daughter is on the cusp of 22, and I started playing when she was a A wee little baby sitting in my arms. So yeah, now that I look at it, it makes me a little vomity, but yeah, 21 years, man.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, and this is kind of the part where we're like, just pause and we'll talk about this for a minute. Does WoW leaning harder into emotional storytelling feel like the right direction for a 21-year-old MMO?
All day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
You will never lose if you add emotion into a storyline, because once you get hooked into a story, and it's the same thing with reading books. You read a book and you like the story, you want to keep turning pages. You don't want to get up and take out the trash, or you don't want to get up and make dinner until your wife is yelling and screaming at you to stop doing said thing. Yeah. Otherwise, she will murder you in your sleep. And you have to get up.
Yeah.
So do that thing. But when you add emotion into it, it will lock you into the immersion factor of the story. So all day long, I am a fan of tugging at heartstrings when you're telling stories in MMOs and everything else you do. I mean, the best movies are movies that make you hate a villain or love a main character. Yeah. And, look at Game of Thrones, right? One of my favorite all-time series ever. And you find the characters in that story that you love their trajectory, you love watching their character development. And when it switches to other scenes with other characters, you just want them to get back to your character.
Yeah.
And for me, we're talking Game of Thrones. For me, it was Arya. I loved her evolution from this little, squirrely little kid to a freaking assassin.
Right?
I mean, she just, and if you haven't seen Game of Thrones yet, I don't even care that I spoiled that for you. Catch up. But man, you want to talk about getting hooked into a character. So when I can find that same thing in my games, it hooks me into gaming that much more.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer that everyone loves a good story. It doesn't matter the kind of player you are. It doesn't matter if you're PvPer. It doesn't matter if you're a crafter. And I'm speaking strictly to Warcraft right now. It doesn't matter what aspect of the game you like. At the end of the day, outside of the game, everybody loves a good story. Lord of the Rings. You mentioned Game of Thrones. Star Wars. So many, just different sagas. And ultimately, at the end of the day, yes, I'm in full agreement. Leaning into that emotional storytelling. And honestly, I will say this. I think when games do it correctly, let me underline that, emphasize, embolden, correctly, when you can kind of mirror the times that we are in outside of the game. And it's not like pulling in, verbatim things that are going on, but when you can kind of reflect in a way the emotional, maybe just the vibe or something that's, I'm trying to word this right. It's maybe something that's happening, but when you can pull those like certain elements in its own way within a story, like I feel like to me it hits more. Like we talked about, and granted, this may be more of a personal thing for people, but like for me, like, we talked at the end of 2025, the kinds of years that we had both had, and which were pretty close and pretty similar to just difficult years, and just how much hope meant to us looking forward into midnight. I think that when you can pull on storytelling like that kind of reflects like, hey, we may be in a difficult time right now, just as a people, whether it's the US, wherever it is, or it may be strenuous. When you can bring those elements that it's maybe difficult, but there is hope in a game, like it resonates more. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it can resonate in a way that I think it may not if you don't do that thing. And it's just cool to see, to be honest.
Yeah, and storytelling, when it's done right, storytelling gives your character their place in the world.
Exactly.
Even though for the most part, the main storyline in World of Warcraft, everybody's the Dovahkiin, right?
You're the Dovahkiin?
We've talked about that before. I'm the Dovahkiin.
No, I'm the Dovahkiin.
Thank God you're finally awake. We jest. But you know, when the story is being told from the perspective of some major calamity that's going on in the world, and you are the hero, emotional investment is super important to make you love what's happened in front of you. So yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of that, and I'm really happy the way things are going, because I'm excited to be emotionally invested again.
Yeah, me too. And that's and by the way, folks, you don't even know this. We probably should do it next episode. Yeah, it's got to be next episode. Next episode, we're going to be doing our award show. We're going to be going through The War Within as an expansion and reviewing everything from top to bottom. Story, NPCs, experience of raids, all the things. And we're going to go through, it's kind of like AMR's farewell to the expansion. It's almost like our own Grammy Awards for the War Within.
Oh, I don't have to wear a tux.
I'd rather you didn't.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to. Remember that time we went to a wedding? I'll never forget this. We would go to a wedding down in Louisiana.
Random story.
And you know, we all drove down, right? We got down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And we go to this wedding to surprise a friend. You show up and you got, you know, a nice dress shirt, nice dress slacks, everything's mint. A friend I brought along with me, same way. And I'm looking down and I realize I have a Western with the literal, like, gemmed button up that really didn't fit too well, if I'm being completely honest with you. A little snug around the chest, if you catch my drift, okay? I know you like your shirts that way, but Jibs did not like that shirt that way that day. And I have jeans and tennis shoes. And I'm just like, I did not get the memo to dress up for a wedding.
So we drove to Menards. The best part of that story is that for the longest time, Jibs had this certain pair of shorts,
cargo shorts,
that he would wear when he podcasted. Certain pair of shorts.
The yellow ones?
I know you remember. You're looking at me
the yellow
weird
ones?
right now. Yes.
The Lakers?
His Lakers shorts. He had your LA Lakers shorts on. And I would just destroy him. Like, he'd be like, I gotta go pee. And like, get up and he'd leave and he'd go off camera and stuff. And I'd be like, you wear those damn shorts again, aren't you? Like, how old are those shorts?
So old.
And he's like, they're not old. These are from the 3-peat, bro. I'm like,
dude,
they're old.
I can't.
But anyway, he brought these shorts on this trip, and I was like, oh my God, these are the shorts of the flesh. Do you remember that in the hotel room?
Yeah, I do.
Good memories.
Yeah, man. I hate shopping. I still have jeans that are 6 years old. I'll wear those things until they can't be worn anymore. Like, I want to spend my money on gaming, not on clothes. Anyway. Total side tangent. Let's
good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so they continue with player housing, the long-awaited feature. So, Blizzard acknowledged that player housing has been requested since the early days of WoW. They stated they waited because they wanted housing to live up to, quote, 21 years of player dreams, end quote. Since early access began, players have collectively spent over 450 years of time inside housing. More than 14 million gold has already been spent. How is that not more than that?
Yeah.
A large portion of that gold went toward the secretive bookcase wall, specifically called out by Blizzard. Dude.
I'll tell you why it's only been 14 million gold, because so many things you can get with other currencies.
Oh, that's true.
That's why.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So does this, here's our discussion point on this part. Does this early data suggest housing is already a long-term pillar, or is it a novelty system?
Too soon.
Too soon?
Too soon to tell.
Okay.
There's a lot of people, just getting into housing and just barely dabbling in housing.
Yeah.
So we really don't know. What they need we need to see some type of stats in like another 2 years. Mm-hmm. And I bet you with every expansion or with every content release, it probably goes up a little bit and then dips and goes up a little bit. And then it's going to look like a sawtooth, if you can follow with what a graph would probably look like. And then another expansion and probably a bigger sawtooth.
Yeah.
That's what I would expect it to look like, because when new features for housing come out, people are going to dive into those wholeheartedly. And then it's going to, you know, kind of phase off a little bit. They're going to get back to other content, start doing other things. But I think to find out that housing is a long-term pillar is maybe a little too early to call now.
Mm-hmm.
I personally believe that it will be a long-term pillar, but right now it's kind of novelty.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think it will be a pillar. I really do, especially as it continues to expand. But will it right now? Is it a novelty? I would say probably, with a little bit of a hesitation. Like, I don't fully know that I believe that, but I feel like it could definitely be that thing. But yeah, like, it continues to surprise me, honestly. Like, I was on Facebook today, found a random housing group. Never heard of this group. Has over 10,000 people in it already. And it's incredibly active every day. A totally different group, never seen. But I'm just like, this hit home with a wide swath, us included, of Warcraft fans. The housing system, you know. Like, at the end of the day, this was a home run. And truthfully, how many people would you say haven't even experienced it yet because they're just holding out to buy Midnight? They're just holding out to pull that trigger. Like, I don't think this is the total player base.
I think if there's people playing now, they're already dabbling in housing. There's probably the small amount of people, or whatever percentage of people that aren't playing housing, are people who just aren't interested in it.
Yeah.
I think if you have any interest in housing, I think it's probably a very, very minute fraction of people who are actually waiting for Midnight. Like, it's right there in front of you every time you log in. How could you not click the button, at least go check it out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, gosh, yeah. I mean, especially with endeavors that have been going, you know, and our community's been working through the Mechanome area, the quest, or that whole thing, the event, the Mechanome Endeavor.
Hey, yeah, I remember when I first used my words.
Just stop
Thank
right
you,
now.
Appreciate it. And so
You're welcome.
And so anyway, it's just, you know, it's been fun and it's unique. I love the idea that you can go and see other people's, like, you know, we talked about a couple episodes ago, you can go and see what endeavor they chose and go and buy things from their vendor if you've been working on those community coupons. So it's a really cool system. And overall, like, even if it isn't your shtick, like, my gosh, they definitely laid the groundwork that they could grow this thing how they want to, you know?
Agreed.
So they go on to community and charity announcements, where they talk about Blizzard is announcing the WoW Ambassador Program. So this is designed to help connect players and communities, encourage helpful, positive player interaction. Blizzard also revealed new charity partnership with Habitat for Humanity. A new charity pet pack includes Rufus, available in both classic and modern WoW. The pack also includes housing decor, a doghouse, a food bowl, and bed, and Rufus idles by building things when he is not active.
Oh, good boy. He's the best good boy.
Oh, I love that so much.
That is neat. I have a little bit, I mean, because these are both very community-driven things, right? Habitat for Humanity and the WoW Ambassador Program.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the things that we've seen recently? And I guess this kind of ties housing into it too, because that's community, in regards to WoW kind of leaning into the community experience for players as part of WoW's future.
Oh, yes. That's 1,000%. Yes. Do that thing. You know, like, no matter what, in any community, there's always going to be people who are vocally toxic or vocally just, you know, negative all the time. But the people who are actually giving you feedback, the people who really love this game and continue to pay for it on a monthly basis because they love it and they love the community that it's brought them and the life that it's brought them, whether it be professionally or something else entirely. Yeah, lean more into the community-driven, you know, things that are going on. Do that, because ultimately, if you don't have a community, you don't have a game. You don't have And that goes to any genre. If you don't have a community for it, if you don't have players, you don't have a game, you know? And MMOs are incredibly special in that regard. And you and I have seen it, gosh, dude, over a decade of just being everywhere creating, but in Warcraft, that when we see development teams that have a great pulse on the community and there's a synergy where they're really working together, it's a beautiful thing to watch, because you no longer feel like, as a community member, you're on the outside looking through the window. You feel like you're in the house with them in the kitchen helping them cook. And it's just a special thing. So yes, leaning more into that community driven factor is absolutely.
You know, one of the things that has opened my eyes to just how much World of Warcraft and Blizzard cares about their community has been this show. Because we went into this knowing that we wanted one of our segments to be community driven.
Yeah.
We wanted the Heroes Call Board to highlight the things that the community is doing out there. And for us, it's mostly the things that players are doing, but every once in a while we sneak something in, some community initiative or something that Blizzard has partnered up with the community to do. And it's opened my eyes to it, because if all you do is log into World of Warcraft and play it, and don't pay attention to Facebook groups or X or any of the other social media outlets or the website or Blizzard's website for World of Warcraft and their community announcements and news and stuff like that. If you're not paying attention to any of that stuff, it's very easy to think that they're not paying attention and they don't care about the community. But once you start noticing those things, it's undeniable that there's a lot of community outreach taking place, not just outside of the game, but the things that they're doing inside of the game. So, and it's been very obvious too over the past couple of years that Blizzard has a drive and a pointed initiative to try and onboard new players, like the next generation of players into the game. So I'm enjoying watching that whole thing take place, but I absolutely believe in my heart that it is undeniable that they are paying attention and listening to what people say. Now, when you have a massive audience as big as the audience is for World of Warcraft, it can also seem like they're not listening or making the changes that you want. But they have a very difficult job in that they have to decipher the things that are going to be the most impactful for the most amount of people. They kind of have to triage it out, right? And go, okay, these people over here want this, but that's really all we're hearing about this. A majority of the people want this. This is the direction we're headed. Yeah. And when there's so many people playing a game and so many opinions out there, it can be very, very hard to see the reasons why they decided to go in a certain direction.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is just open your mind a little bit to that. I would hate to have that responsibility to, okay, this is what we kind of think we want to do, but we want to get player feedback on it. So go. It's your job now. Figure it out. Could you imagine that? Having to go through all the social media, all the feedback, all the forums, and figure out what people actually want.
That's the hard part.
Would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be the hard part, because you have to separate what is troll / toxicity just for the sake of toxicity and troll versus the people who are really like, they want the game to continue to thrive and grow and be better. And, you know, when I say better, I mean just, you know, just build upon itself and continue to succeed. And so like, that is a daunting task. Yeah. I think it's important to being able to identify who your core group is. Who is your audience? You know, it's no different than podcasters. Who's your audience? Who are you trying to reach? If you try to reach everybody, you reach nobody. Who do you really want to reach? You know what I mean? So it's just like, I think that that's very much a thing also in game development. And I don't envy the person that has that job, that has that, you know, really looking for feedback. Maybe that's why they do closed surveys, you know, because sometimes we'll see surveys that pop up, all whether it's on Wowhead, like this is out and about, but I never see it. So I know it's not everybody's included. You know what I mean? So it's maybe that is one of those driving factors for them. But yeah, overall, I love when you can find a way to healthily lean into community and do it in a way that's beneficial for both the game and the community itself, because then everyone just grows closer together, and it's an awesome time. So next up on the Midnight Pre-Patch, we've got Blizzard confirmed the Twilight Ascension pre-patch event will run until launch. So this includes the rares, the world quest, the bosses, which we've been doing. The rewards include mounts, pets, transmog, housing decor. You guys all know, if you've been able to be in there, all the stuff is there, and it's going to run until launch. So there's going to be additional pre-patch features as well, which are already out. You guys have been a part of this too. So the Devourer Demon Hunter, Void Elf Demon Hunters, Transmog 2.0, updated beginner PvP format, and then the return of Winds of Mysterious Fortune, which, let me tell you, I used that thing over the past week when I was leveling a different hunter because of RP reasons. I needed to get a break from my Coltiran, and I wanted a human hunter, and I wanted to get him up and get him ready. And let me tell you, that buff now combined with, you know, if you were leveling the past week, you know, as we're recording this, if you're leveling and you're using the Dark Moon Fair XP and you're using the Time Ways XP from the dungeons, time walking dungeons, and any kind of XP pots that you get, it's ridiculous.
Yes, and I started to feel it a little bit because I also am leveling a brand new hunter. It's probably my 10th hunter, which is crazy.
I love it.
But I wanted to try survival. So anyway, yeah, not going to get into it, but I'm really enjoying survival. It's super fun. Okay.
It's fun.
I'm actively slowing that down as much as possible.
Yeah.
I'm not using those potions. This is the first time that I have been able to experience the Winds of Mysterious Fortune, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. You get little doses of dopamine like every 5th or 6th mob you kill.
Yeah.
You get like a satchel with goodies in it, and it's fun. All kinds of like consumables. And I think one of the first kill, my first kill in Darnassus, right? On my Night Elf, I got a purple drop, like a purple pouch bag thing that had a whole bunch of stuff in it. And one of the things was Noggenfogger's elixir. And I was like, no way. Like, how iconic is that for World of Warcraft to get Noggenfogger's elixir as your first drop?
Yeah.
Not that it's hard. It's not hard to get, but it's very iconic.
It's nostalgic
to get something like that.
Yeah.
Very much so. And it was super cool. So I'm very much enjoying the things that you get. You definitely get a decent amount of gear.
Yeah.
So you're not really having to worry too much about gear. And I've already come up with the thought, in at least when I'm leveling characters anymore, I don't really use my heirlooms. And I have like all my heirlooms are completely maxed out from over the years, and I don't really want to use them anymore. I kind of want a little bit more of that organic experience when I level. So as an example, I haven't done a single dungeon yet. I think he's level 17, not a single dungeon. And I'm taking my time 100%ing the Night Elf starter zone in Teldrassil, Shadowglen, Darnassus area. And it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's super fun. I'm kind of role playing him as I go. And
attaboy.
You know, he's a fledgling. He's a fledgling scout. So he's working with the Sentinels who are there. And as we know, the Sentinels are all females. So he feels very subpar to all of these fantastic females. And so he does a lot of very respectful bowing and kneeling and saluting. I'm such a dork, and I don't care.
No, I love it. I think it's great. I mean,
it's so much fun, dude.
It is.
Just taking my time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know where I'm going to go next. I don't have any quests. I ran out of quests. So now I'm just picking flowers and skinning cats. That's pretty much all I'm doing right now. But
cats.
I know it's terrible, but you gotta get that skill up, yo.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, I think, things like this help the new player experience, and things like this help the old man player experience, because I've been through this zone to level a new character so many times. It's a rite of passage for my brand new dark elven characters to just go through this zone. But every time I do it, I absolutely love it. And I will say this, I mentioned this to you on the phone yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I
am blown away at how many new players are in the zone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I went to, it's the barrow called Bane something barrow. Anyway, I was doing the quest lines in there, and I was fighting for mobs. There were people all over the place, and I was like, where did you come from?
Oh, everyone's leveling right now.
So
yeah,
there's a bunch of people in the cities.
Yeah.
Even in the Runethil village, there's a bunch of people in there just kind of running around doing their thing. They're running around buffing everybody and doing all these community things. And I'm just going, the F is happening right now. It's normally dead. There's nobody here.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people there. So it's a good sign, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It's fun. It's healthy. It's a good time to be leveling anything. Now's the best time to try out something. Like, ultimately, I will always tell you, there's a class I always will look at, but I know I'll never really play. But it always intrigues me. Always does. I'll never really play it. Death Knight. Every time. I always have my eyes on that class at some point or another, because it totally reminds me personally of a Sith juggernaut from Star Wars: The Old Republic. That's the vibe every time. So it's my eyes are always looking at it, but I'm like, it's not my style, But
which is funny because a Death Knight is completely the opposite of a paladin, which is pretty much the way you live your life.
I know.
Aside from actually vanquishing evil.
Evil.
Evil. There's evil afoot. Oh man, we are getting off the rails.
That's okay. We'll get right back on. So anyway,
this might be our 3-hour show.
This may, you know what? You're getting a meteor show. That is for sure. So what's coming at launch? So we're looking at level cap to 90. We know a lot of this stuff we all know, but we're going to chat about it anyway. 8 new dungeons, 11 new delves, new open world system, Prey. Oh, that's the one. I'm excited for that one.
Bro. Have a private moment live on the air.
Why did you make a moment out of that? Why did you make a moment?
because my mind's in the gutter.
Out of everything in this episode. Oh, you're such a... I can't even say that on the air. Oh my God,
dude. As you get older, your inhibitions and your filter disappear.
Oh, I'm crying.
Live with it.
Oh, I'm crying. Oh, gosh. So then we have new epic battleground that's Slayers Rise. And then you have the Argentina, which I don't think is getting talked about very much.
I forgot about the Argentina, dude.
So did I. Yeah, so tavern focused on storytelling. It's a tavern focused on storytelling content. So you're going to be able to go interact with NPCs there and take up like little quests and stuff from them. Oh, dude, that you want to talk about getting into your character? And when you pick your main like a good little lad and pick Hunter, and we can be Hunter bros.
Listen to you evil temptress.
And you know what? We can go around the world together in the forests. My arms are spread out right now for everyone who's not watching. All our patrons who are
you want to hold hands.
For a one-time fee of 5,000 gold, I will hold your hand.
Yeah. Oh my God!
I have a question.
Oh my! What's your question?
I said it's out of the question. Oh. You may not.
I am crying. We are laughing.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So anyway, season 1 will begin a few weeks after launch, and this includes 6 boss raid, the Void Spire, a single boss raid, Dream Rift, 4 new world bosses, a new Mythic Plus pool, 4 returning dungeons, and a new PvP and Delve season. A few weeks later, March on Quell de Nas. A 2-boss raid will be released. So let me ask you this. What do you think about this launch lineup going into midnight versus other expansions?
I think Argentina is going to be Lion's Pride Light. That's what I think.
I think so.
Oh, I think it's going to be a great spot. I truly do.
Yeah.
I think it's stacked, bro. This launch lineup is really big. And it's aside from all the other things like new level cap. Okay. That happens all the time.
Yeah, sure.
But 8 new dungeons and 11, count them, 11 new delves.
Yeah, dude.
I think that's a pretty good indicator that delves were a grand slam.
Yeah, they were.
With the last expansion. Yes, I personally love delves. I cannot wait to do 11 new ones. I think they're going to be super cool. I hope they don't do any underwater ones. I don't think those were super popular.
I don't think they are.
The new system with Prey is going to be epic. And I can foresee me running that with my hunter, maybe not my druid. But I don't think you have a choice. I think if you opt into the system, right, you're
on your character.
You're going to get hunted.
You're the character that is. So it makes sense for you to be playing a hunter as you're hunting your prey. Just saying.
You're nasty.
Throwing that out there. I'm laying it on
you
thick
know my
with 2
love for the
Cs.
druid. You're just nasty.
Well, in this house, we play hunter and alliance.
This
All
week.
Right. you shut up. No, I don't want to hear
See how quick he wants to change the subject.
All right, so moving on. So for player housing updates, now this is a big deal, okay? It's a big deal. Blizzard confirmed they are actively working on allowing player pets inside houses. Hello, we've been wanting that for a while. Hitching mounts outside, which, yeah, I mean, we're getting a taste of that with the Griffin right now, with the Griffin nest. It was so freaking cool. I went to someone's house the other day. They had 2 Griffins outside. One, because they're one of the role players, and they're husband and wife, and they've got their it's like co-Griffins. I'm like, that's awesome. And then you've got the copy-paste features for decor placement. Dude.
Big deal. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. I don't mean big deal. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, so they were talking about, like, you make a grand piano with a bunch of different pieces. Yeah, you're now going to be able to copy and paste those things, like bigger things, which is phenomenal.
I wonder, I ran into an issue. I ran into a little bit of an issue.
Okay.
And I'm not like Blizzard devs. If any of you are listening, they're not listening. If you were listening, don't cancel my account because I'm saying this, because you're adding so much cool stuff to the game. But I ran into an issue where I changed. What'd you call me?
I said, don't cancel my account. Listen to you.
Oh, okay.
Called you.
Don't cancel my account.
Called you a filthy hunter is what I called you.
Jackass. Sorry. Okay. Sidetrack. Ran into an issue changing my house from the Elwyn Forest style, Stormwind style, Elwyn Forest style, to the Night Elf style. All my stuff on the outside was like fooged up. And I had to put it all away, and I haven't yet been back to put it all back. That seems like a heavy lift. Does it not? I mean, just between you and me, does that seem like too much of a heavy lift to say, can you put this back on the new house?
It seems like you just need to go to your house and just move stuff around.
You're calling me lazy, but you're probably right. Okay. Right.
I mean, like, I
Hopefully
get what you're saying, though, but honestly, look at it from a technical standpoint. Like, the shaping of the Night Elf features is so vastly more circular, you know, and like the edges and where things come to a point, it's much more exaggerated, like going upward and like diagonally, and like it doesn't have the hard lines that some of the.
You could just say ornate, and everybody would get it.
Okay.
Oh man, it's almost like we freaking snorted a line of helium before.
You could just, not be an idiot. Just say ornate. That'd be great.
Did you go to the dentist right before this episode? We're all giggly.
Oh, man. You would think so, right? Gosh. One heck of an episode.
Geez.
Anyway, so yeah, I get it why it's not. It just sounds like to me you just need to man up and do it. So there's that. Next up, we've got import-export codes that are coming to allow sharing full house designs. Interior and exterior decor limits will continue to increase over time. And Blizzard explicitly told players to keep giving feedback and that they are listening. All right, so we're going to keep moving forward here. They step into Midnight Patch Roadmap. This is where we're kind of looking at for the next year. And we were like Dumb and Dumber, Samsonite, way off on our guesses last week. So,
of what they were going to cover?
Yeah.
So the Tinker's not in here?
No, it's not in it. Ian, where's my Tinkerer?
Damn it, Ian.
Oh gosh. All right, so Midnight Patch Roadmap, patch 12.0.5, you're going to see the Void Assaults coming across the world. A prop hunt style activity called Decor Duel, which is a 5v5. One team disguises as props, the other team hunts them. That is a game mode in Call of Duty, and I can't wait to do it in Warcraft.
What, like, were you wearing like a ghillie suit?
No, you are legit a prop. So you may legit look like a tea kettle. And you have to position yourself in the world, and then people have to come find you and figure out if it's a real prop or if it's you.
So this is like a different game mode, kind of like Plunderstorm type thing?
It is some kind of cute thing, it looks like.
How fun is this? I can't wait to see the rewards for this, because you and I will crush something like this.
Oh, we'll go hard. We sat there
100% this.
Remember when we sat there and beat the crap out of each other for the for the what was that event when we were dressed up as Nacho
the Day
Libre?
of the Dead.
Day of the Dead, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did that in the middle of Stormwind.
It was awesome.
It was a crowd. People were throwing crap at us. It was a thing.
Next patch, you got a new single boss raid, which you already covered. And then following patch 12.1, you're looking at new zone, raid, dungeons, delves, mythic plus pool, everything we just said, right? And then it continues on into the big announcement. Coming in patch 12.1.5, which all those, like, these are all just numbers, even to me, right? To everyone who's listening to, like, we totally get it. However, just know it's coming. Labyrinths. Large, sprawling, delve-style content inspired by mega dungeons can be completed all at once or at your own pace.
Whoa.
And that image that they showed for it was massive, like winged.
Is this solo content?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Can you do this content with friends,
Yes.
Jibs?
Yes, it's a delve, but it's just a big delve.
Okay.
Labyrinth.
Yeah,
style.
that's gonna be popular.
Yeah. That's yeah, I'm gonna save this for next week, talking about what I learned in War Within. But I tell you what, there's one thing I know I for sure want to be doing in Midnight. It's delves, and I want to do them with you. I want to do them with our friends. I want to clear everything, get everything we can, every season, every delve season. Every new season. Just because, gosh, not only is it fun, but then when you get to labyrinths and you look at just how massive it looks. It's huge. I'm trying to find the image in the video while we're talking, but it's just, there it is. It's just huge. So yeah, it's going to be a win all around. What do you think of something like that?
Any content is more content for my box of content. So I'm looking forward to this. This one really does resonate with me, though, because I have always been a dungeon delver. I love that type of stuff. And if you're going to give me a larger style dungeon that I can do solo, and I can decide to take a wing a night and come back to it, it saves to your character like a raid does.
Is that? I don't know if it does that.
I'm hoping that it does. You see, it says can be completed all at once or at your own pace, which indicates to me the instance will save to your character.
Now that would be interesting. Yeah, I posted this in chat. This is
epic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's huge. It's just huge. So like,
Yeah.
and
Shnikes.
we only see like the blueprint of it, right? Like, I can't. Honestly, it looks like only the bottom right side is starting to get some visual assets placed, like textures. But the rest of it looks like it's just, like still in prototype. I can't wait to see what that looks like finished out. That's huge. It looks like the size of Iron Forge, to be honest with you.
It reminds me of, honestly, looking at that, it reminds me of going to the mall with my wife.
Oh,
Like,
that's
if you look at the
Bath and
like
Body
3E,
Works.
the area all the way over to the right, that could be the parking lot, and you start there,
okay.
and then you hit basically everything. Like there's Bloomingdale's, and then that's definitely entrance 1A is definitely the food. No, the central chamber is the food court.
Oh, that makes sense. Your favorite store is right there. I bet you're an Abercrombie and Fitch guy, aren't you? Even you're at your ripe middle age.
No, I'm more of a Hot Topic dude.
He's lying.
Not a PacSun guy either.
No, not really. Maybe for my board shorts.
Yeah,
like my boardies that I wear around the house all the time. But
those boardies betray you when you say that.
I'm more of a Levi's 507 cuff jeans and Chucks and
Yeah.
a t-shirt. And even though I don't slick my hair back because I can't. Right? So there's that.
We're just a little more aerodynamic. All right. So anyway, Labyrinths, we can look forward to that. And then looking ahead, this is kind of the last part of all this. BlizzCon confirmed, which we knew was a thing. And they described it as a look at the next 20 years of Warcraft. Dude, we're going to be there and we get to enjoy this. I can't freaking wait to be there.
Bro, I'm gonna be dead in 20 years. They're gonna keep going?
You're living to be 100, baby. Talk like that, I'll smack you in the face.
Be dead in 20 years.
So I can't wait to go and see this live. Like the idea of talking about the next 20 years of World of Warcraft just sounds incredibly special.
It does. I think for me, when you look at their planning, the fact they're planning for the next 20 years of Warcraft is an incredible way to look at this. And I think we touched on it. I think last week or the week before, we touched on you're watching World of Warcraft 2 happen in front of you because the game is going to be there. What's going to happen is the evolution of the game, and we've already seen that happen for the last 21 years. The game has evolved.
Yeah,
but I 100% see, possibly an engine change over the next 20.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. I mean, you would think that they would change the engine between now and when I'm effing 70 years old. They would probably change the engine.
I don't know. Do they?
Well, maybe they don't need to. I think the game looks fantastic. And as long as they continue revamping areas, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm the dumb face.
No, I'm just like, do you think they would? Like, I don't know. I don't know that they would. I don't know that they won't. I don't know that they would either. I'm kind of indifferent. But yeah, I tell you, there's a lot of things on that table, that we could do, that they could do. And I look forward to seeing it. That's for sure. And then finally, they finished it with Azeroth is still home. And they say adventure may call, but now it also calls us back home. And they showed a trailer that is kind of the it reminds me of the Alliance. So when they teased housing, it was kind of Alliance-esque, right? It was a human, I believe it was human, walked in, sat down, put his sword and all that stuff and chilled out, right? And we got to see a blood elf rogue, which was adorable, getting her loot, her decor. And then we proceeded to watch what was hands down one of the most beautiful cinematics I have seen from them since The War Within was announced. And I tell you, I watched it and I couldn't help but think, I wish this was a Netflix series. This is stunning. Just stunning.
Stop.
Tell me that wouldn't, I mean, I'm watching it right now while we're doing this. It's just perfect. Just perfect. It's like Arcane, but the world we love, like that we play in and adore. Ugh. Yeah,
there's no doubt that they have, over the years, they have 100% stepped up their presentation value.
Yeah.
On the cinematics. And I think you're right. I think this style, you look at this style and it reminds me a lot of the League of Legends series Arcane.
Oh yeah.
Which is lights out.
Oh,
I mean, that
amazing.
series is, and I'm not a huge fan of the game League of Legends, but you want to talk about some really amazing lore. That game definitely has it. And I see this style being very reminiscent of that. And oh my gosh, would I absolutely gush over some type of a World of Warcraft series. I don't care what story you tell, but it would be a win, 100% a win for our community. And again, I'm not again, but I'm very glad that they chose to do the Horde on this one.
Yeah, me too.
You know, because I feel like, and I'm an Alliance player, but I feel very much like the Alliance has gotten a lot of love in the last couple of expansions. So I'd like to see some love for the Horde in here. Yeah, definitely. Even though I still cringe when people say, for the Horde, for the Alliance.
I love that. I love that whole faction divide, like that faction pride thing. It's just like going back to what you were saying about just like the aesthetic of this, like this right here to me is Warcraft. Like this style of animation on these trailers, like it just has so much heart. Like, and even though I'm Alliance at heart, I couldn't help but love and adore the Blood Elf. I couldn't help but love and adore the orcs that were just like truffle shuffling across. And they were just, it was such a comical moment. There's so much heart. It's just so good. And it's just like, I'm so glad everything you just said, yes. I'm so glad they chose Horde. I'm so glad they did it this way because it just felt so homey and just, my goodness, it's beautiful. Just beautiful.
Yep, I'm watching it now too as we speak, and you know, they just nailed the art style, and I love her. I wonder if she's going to be recurrent because she's pretty fantastic as a character.
Yeah. Just that genuine little squee that she gives when she gets her decor and she's so excited. Oh, my favorite part, the audio part, when she like poofs out and you hear it just like echo out in the world and then she comes back.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's so
good. They play a little Aussie.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
All right, folks. Well, that is our roundup from State of the Great Warcrafts and the great world of Azeroth that we all love and adore. And now, my friends, it is time to get snarky.
Snark Online.
So juicy.
You know, people still comment on that. Like that's one of the things that stands out about Snark is that far on the end for whatever reason. That morning radio style of fart on the end.
I'll tell you why. Because people know it. Cash says it a lot. Farts are funny.
Farts are funny.
Every time.
Every time.
Yep.
Just as sure as a Skyrim copy will sell, fart will make someone laugh.
Just as sure as they'll make another resell of Skyrim in some way. Call it something different. Okay. We're gonna take it down. We're gonna take the lights down a little bit.
Okay.
On this one.
All right.
Even though the name of this segment of Snark is The Lights Are Still On in Azeroth.
Okay.
Because this one does cover some heavier topics. And this is very hot news right now. So if you didn't know, we're going to kind of give you the old man style Cliff's Notes. You know what I'm talking about? In other words, we're going to summarize what happened in MMO community news here over the past week or so, because this does involve the MMO industry as a whole, and we would be remiss if we didn't talk about it. So the last big project that Jibs and I and a good friend of ours, Sonny, was involved in was almost 2 years we podcasted about the development of Ashes of Creation. We've talked about it on the show before. So Ashes of Creation, if you don't know anything about it, was initially crowdfunded. Like they did a crowdfunding campaign for it. But for the most part, it was touted as the main developer was funding the whole project. This particular gentleman was gifted in the area of money and was a longtime MMO player and wanted to make his own MMO. So he founded his own studio, called it Intrepid Studios. And along with the crowdfunding, was basically self-funding the project. Well, it was going quite well. They just had a release on Steam. It was seeing decent numbers on Steam. The game was in alpha and moving towards beta, which was probably, if we're honest, probably a good 2 years away from, alpha or beta, closed open beta. The game was very niche, though. It was very much a PvP game. The game was beautiful. The combat was very fun, but it was a little bit too open worldy for us. And we found that it just wasn't the game for us. There was a lot of extortion, and, you do a lot of things to build your character up, or, build a caravan, and you're running goods from one place to another, and then somebody could just come take it all. And there's nothing you could do about it. And it was got very frustrating. A lot of in-game politics and such. So lo and behold, we found this is probably not the game for us, but development moved on. And the game still seemed to be doing quite well in its development cycles. But over the past weekend, the studio shut down its doors, and they sent notices out to hundreds of amazing game developers, many of which we got to know. So before we get started, I just want to say, as we're covering this topic, this is nothing about us dunking on a game or celebrating layoffs, because we are 100% not doing that. We made a lot of friends over there, and the development team was very, very good to us. But I think it's important to mention that a lot of very real people, we talk about the real people that are making these games. A lot of these people lost their jobs over the weekend, including one of our very close friends, which bums us out to a great extent. So Planendorf, if you're out there and you're listening, we love you and we're thinking about you. So without getting into the speculation of the reasons why this thing shut down too much, we'll talk a little bit about it, but Intrepid had a very, very rapid shutdown. And I think the reason that I wanted to snark this week is because this is the reality of the MMO genre over the past decade. It is brutal, and I wanted to talk a little bit about why this might have happened with Intrepid, and the reasons why games like World of Warcraft have somehow survived despite this particular genre struggling in the industry. So, Jibs, what do you think? I mean, you've been in this thing just as long as I have, covering MMOs and following MMOs and watching development of many, many games very closely. What are some of the reasons you think the MMO genre is struggling so hard for right now?
I read this the other day. Actually, I think it was today. Ultimately, it is a large gamble that requires such a large upfront investment that may not pay off. And I think partially why it's so difficult partially is because publishers, I think these days, are terrified of it. This is not 2008 when everyone's coming out with, the MMO. Honestly, I don't even know what we would call those years, but it's like the founding years of MMOs, like the surge that came because people wanted an answer to World of Warcraft, right? I'm not even going to talk about a WoW killer because that's just so stupid. But at this point, we've
learned that over the years.
Yeah, but like all these companies, they wanted to have their own World of Warcraft, right? So Warhammer Online, I love the Warhammer universe, great lore. Warhammer Online came out. Firefall, remember that game? It was an FPS that we played together.
It's fun.
Lord of the Rings Online, which is still around. Star Wars: The Old Republic, still around. Elder Scrolls Online, like the list goes on. Secret, like you could just keep. WildStar just keeps going, right? And there was a period of about 5, maybe 6 years, when it was kind of the glory days as far as these MMOs being released. Now, that was a wildly different time, especially financially for a lot of these things. Companies now have seen so many MMOs fail. I think that they're very, very nervous if there's not a great plan up front, very nervous about putting in the funds for these sorts of things. So I think that is one of many reasons why it's so difficult, is that publishers are just terrified oftentimes about getting involved with an MMO development.
Right. And I agree there wholeheartedly about the MMO genre as a whole, and why a lot of companies don't want to support this type of stuff anymore. Now, take this with a grain of salt, because these facts are 100% not confirmed, and there's a lot of speculation going on there about what can cause, in a general sense, a large MMO and a developer that's seemingly doing very well, to just shut down their doors without saying anything. And that's typically how it happens. Like, there's not a whole lot that happens unless you're really, really digging behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You don't know a lot about what's happening if you're just watching the development before a company will shut down. Just shut their doors. We're done.
Yeah.
Personally, this is what I feel was going on. Super ambitious project, right? But things are super expensive. Super expensive. You're talking salary, benefits, renters of servers, like around the world, so that you can provide your game to lots of places, with minimal ping and lag and issues. Whether or not you're in a brick and mortar studio, which Intrepid was, and I live in California. Intrepid was in California, and I know how expensive stuff is here. I cannot imagine having a brick and mortar studio that you have to pay rent for and keep the lights on in and have hundreds of developers working in there. It had to be insane amounts of money for all of those things, just salary, benefits, server rentals, and your brick and mortar development studio. On top of that, you got voice work, outsourcing certain parts of your game, like graphic work and stuff like that. That all costs money. And when you add all that stuff up together, that is going to add up very quickly if the game is being self-funded, solely self-funded. So the game Ashes of Creation was originally touted as being funded to completion, self-funded to completion. Okay. And it was also touted that it was not under like any type of board of directors, and there was 100% free vision and development by the owner of the studio, which is all like fantastic stuff. Like, okay, the game is funded to completion. This is going to happen. We were super convinced that, like, no, this is a company to step behind because of, their morals and all the things that they're talking about. And even interacting with this gentleman, his name's Stephen Sharif. And for all intents and purposes, every interaction that we had with this gentleman, he's kind, intelligent, smart, benevolent, like all these things that you would want in a human being. He is. And now all of a sudden there's talk about there being a board, and the board making some decisions that he didn't agree with as to the direction of the game. So when there's a board, that to me indicates that some other investments had to be made. You had some other stakeholders in this game that either weren't announced or were not previously disclosed. Again, I don't want to get into the specifics about what actually happened or, talk too much about things that I personally do not know about. But all I'm saying is that all the Swiss cheese holes lined up perfectly for there to be some kind of a disaster here. And it did happen. And it's not just Intrepid. I think this is happening with so many other games that are trying to develop MMOs. So let me ask you this. Again, knowing the success of World of Warcraft and knowing that World of Warcraft and Blizzard, Activision, like we're talking zero question, is a AAA production that is keeping this game that we love alive. Do you feel like there needs to be a balance of some larger conglomerate companies that have way deeper pockets to be able to make a game, an MMO specifically, be developed and survive?
You need to do what World of Warcraft did in 2004. One of the main things that it did, it did so many things right. But one of the main things it did is the reason why it led to so much success is because they made an MMO for the general person that anyone could step into. They took a genre that was very in-depth, right? Very, very RPG, and they brought it to the forefront where everybody could partake. Ashes of Creation did not do that. Many other games have not done that. And that is one of the things that I hope and pray other MMOs that are coming out do, because we need this genre to thrive. We need competition for World of Warcraft. I need League of Legends to come out with their MMO. I need the next Warhammer MMO to come out. You know why? I'll tell you case in point. When I managed part of the family business. I had established this new area. I was getting the name and everything out there. Do you know when business was best? When my competition moved right across the street. I could see them from my desk. Do you know who won ultimately in that? Because it pushed me to be better. It pushed him to be better. He wanted to beat me. I wanted to beat them. Who's the person in the middle? The consumer.
The consumer? Were you flipping each other off from across the street?
Shooting bottle rockets. Pew, pew, pew.
Like a little goblin.
Hey, yeah. But, no, that was when it was best. And it was best for me for business, but more importantly, it was the best for the consumer. Because ultimately, when you have good competition, the consumer will always win, because these companies want to compete. I need that. We need that, because that means we have a healthy genre. A healthy genre isn't MMOs dying in development. You know, it's not publishers being terrified to step up to the plate and join people. We have watched this MMO genre over the last 12 years since we started casting for our first podcast for Star Wars: The Old Republic. We have watched too many games come and go. And honestly, sometimes the MMO genre in a lot of ways, unfortunately, has become sometimes a joke or a laugh that people will look at, and they'll just, side eye it just because of the struggle that it's had. And I'm sorry, I don't even remember your initial question, but I'll just tell you this, man, oh man, we need League of Legends to come out with their MMO. We need that Warhammer MMO. I think it's coming out. We need that to happen because we need the genre to thrive. We need it to keep moving forward. New World's dying. That's another thing that brought, you say what you want, but they brought you always look at an MMO and say, what did that game bring? What did it add to the genre that other devs could look at and say, oh yeah, maybe the game overall wasn't, like the home run, but that thing was. That fishing. Was. And that fishing system? Yeah. So you want to talk about setting the standard in the genre for fishing? It was New World. And it's just don't look, and we are Warcraft fans through and through, so please don't look at this as Warcraft or bust or die. Ultimately, it's MMOs or die. We need these to thrive. And I just hope that they do. I hope that things turn around and succeed, because watching that happen with Ashes of Creation, I just sighed. And I feel so brokenhearted for all those people that Thursday, whenever it was, they went home, could feed their family. The next day, could not feed their family. That is the rock bottom of it all. And it's just we need this to thrive. It has to thrive.
I did not expect you to take it in that direction, but I 100% see what you're saying. Had Ashes of Creation not been so niche and been a little bit more open to lots of other players out there, it would have opened them up for their funding.
Yeah.
Which would have allowed them to have a bigger audience and be more of a juggernaut in the space once the game releases. And then you took it to the competition aspect with regards to World of Warcraft, because when the bar is raised, everybody's bar goes up.
Yep.
So, man, I'm tracking. And I really like where you took that. Like that was very, very well thought out response. So thank you. I think when you look at stuff and you see the decline of the MMO genre and you watch games which really could have been a really, really good game like Ashes of Creation fail, it also reinvigorates the spot of why World of Warcraft continues to stand as the king.
Yeah.
It really does. And you can't, there's so many things that are undeniable about it. And I think there's some reasons why. I want to hit these quickly. I know we're definitely running short on time.
Oh, we're way over this episode. Folks, you're getting an extended episode.
We're all messed up. We're all messed up tonight.
It's called that noggin fogger.
We're not. It's the noggin fogger. So World of Warcraft traditionally has had a rock solid infrastructure on the back end, for sure. They have a huge company behind them, multiple revenue streams, right? Subs, their tokens, all the different services they do, all the other games they do, and everything. I just think that there's so much of a knowledge base there. They've built such a huge team that they can make a lot of anticipations about things going wrong. You can't predict everything, but if WoW stumbles, they hotfix it. Like no problem. They kind of have contingency plan upon contingency plan, and I don't know the back end of their development, but it seems to work. When there's a problem, for the most part, that problem gets fixed pretty quick. Look at the release of Twilight Ascension, right? That first night was rough. But by the time I woke up in the morning, it was fixed.
Yep.
We were all good to go. So when you have that support there and you have, a large conglomerate behind you, you can afford to just make the things that you need to do to keep your game clipping along. And I think when you're trying to self-fund something, or even worse, when you're trying to crowd fund something, it makes it very, very difficult to do that because, the deep pockets just aren't there. So that is 100% one thing that World of Warcraft has in this industry. I don't say that World of Warcraft is the king because it's a flawless game, because it's not. There's things that have broken. There's things that need to be fixed. There's always things that need to be fixed.
Yeah.
And, if you want proof of that, then just go watch any of Bellular's videos. It's good days and he has bad days. But he does speak his truth. You got to hand it to him. He has no problem laying it out the way that it is.
Yep.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is you don't have to love the king, but you can't pretend that the throne is empty either.
Oh, that's well said.
Warcraft is here, and Warcraft is here to stay. And there's a lot of reasons why. Part of those reasons because I've had 21 plus years of experience in making mistakes and fixing those mistakes. So again, I wanted to throw this out there. I wanted to discuss it because it's such a huge thing happening in the industry right now. If you look at YouTube videos and Jibs, some of the content creators that we created alongside and became friends with, oh my God, they're done. Like, what do they do now?
Yeah.
I know at least of a few of them that are coming over to Warcraft. I'm like, come on over, dude. We have Kaja-Cola.
Yeah.
Come on over here. It's freaking fantastic.
Oh, I love it.
So, and I know we jest about it, but for all you developers out there, if there's any that are listening, just know that we see you, we feel for you. We thank you for your hard work. And, from our show to your career, best wishes wherever you land, because you're talented folks and you're undoubtedly gonna find your spot. So much love to you.
Agreed. Well, folks, thank you so much for this. We're gonna go to our lore lesson, and then we'll be right back to close out the show. When Dalaran fell, it wasn't just a city that was lost. It was libraries, records, centuries of knowledge scattered, burned, or buried. What remains survives in fragments, copied tomes, partial transcriptions. That's where this begins. I'm not here to retell Azeroth's full history. Cash already walks that road. What follows is a character dossier, assembled from what survived. Let's open the file. Source condition, Kirin Tor elemental archives destroyed. Stormwind libraries, partial. Earthen Ring records, limited. What follows reflects consensus facts, not a complete record. Identification. Name, Ragnaros. Titles, Fire Lord, Lord of Fire, Lord of Flame, the Great Fire. Nature, Fire Elemental. Classification, Demigod level entity. All surviving sources agree Ragnaros was not a mortal elevated to power. He was fire, given will. Domain and authority. Ragnaros ruled the Firelands, a region of the elemental plane formed entirely of flame and molten stone. His seat of power was Sulfuron Keep, described consistently as a fortress suspended within an endless sky of fire. Authority within his domain was absolute. No councils, no shared rule. All known servants answered directly to him. Observed temperament. Independent accounts align. Ragnaros favored overwhelming force. He rejected restraint. He did not negotiate. One phrase appears repeatedly across surviving texts. Quote, he did not threaten. He arrived. Fire was not a weapon he wielded. It was the condition he imposed. Methods of rule. Ragnaros ruled through proximity and fear. His presence is described as catastrophic, volcanic upheaval, atmospheric ignition, continuous environmental collapse. He was traditionally attended by a major domo, who acted as his voice and enforcer, supported by a rigid hierarchy of elemental lieutenants. Loyalty was enforced, not earned. Status. All credible sources agree Ragnaros is deceased. He was destroyed within his own domain in the Firelands. Death occurred on his own native plane, rendering it permanent. The mantle of Firelord later passed to Smolderon. Closing note. Across every surviving fragment, every scorched page and marginal note, Ragnaros is not remembered for strategy, not for ideology. He's remembered for scale. Fire, uncontained. Power, unquestioned. And when that fire finally fell silent, the world endured. All right. Folks, this was episode 20 of Azeroth Morning Radio. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here. If you enjoyed your time, here's where we fully rely on. We always rely on you, to be honest with you, to spread the word about Azeroth Morning Radio. And you guys have. You continue to do so. And we ask you to keep doing it. Please share the show with a friend. Share it with your Discord. Because that is how ultimately AMR's mantle continues getting bigger. The AMR family continues to grow. And if you enjoyed your time here, please take a few moments and leave us a review. It tells other gamers, other Warcraft fam, if this show is for them, and it certainly helps us out here. You can always visit our website at AzerothMorningRadio.com. You can learn more about AMR. You can get in contact by sending us your message, whatever you need. Cash.
Friends, if you would like to get in touch with us, we would love for that to take place. We love getting correspondence from the peeps. You can email us at AzerothMorningRadio@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok, all at Azeroth Morning Radio. And you can also hit us up on Patreon, where we have just very recently launched the AMR Network. And as we speak, we have some of our brand new friends on our Patreon in here listening to this show live, listening to us screw it up and have to 3, 2, 1, start again. We're cussing, we're throwing things, but you'd never know it when you listen to the show on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, it's been great, by the way, just opening it up and seeing all the support. Everyone's just like, just the feedback's been great. And seeing people comment and say, I was so excited and looking forward to getting more connected with this community. So like, it's just, I love it. I love seeing it, and it has just started. So this is great.
And a resounding thank you to everybody who wasted no time and joined up on Patreon right away. Thank you very much. And those folks are already seeing the benefits of it. So thank you guys for being here.
They sure are. Much love to all of you. Have a wonderful week in gaming. Stay safe. And we'll see you right here next week. It's our, we need a name for it. We'll figure it out. Anyway, this is the award show. Something for War Within. I don't know. We'll figure it out. See you next week.
See you soon.
Job's done.